if you are a first time viewer. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me. Please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find that information in the description box below. So let's get into the message. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good, for the highest good of humanity, with harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What message do you have for the collective at this time? You have the great severing, fall into my arms, water your garden, with empathic starseed at the bottom of the deck. This almost seems like it's a reflection energy, right? Where it's giving past, present, future, right? Almost as if you're in this observation energy, right? With the empathic starseed, where you are in the space of observing all of the things that you have overcome, all of the experiences that you have had, all of the challenges that you have went through, right? And you are learning how to be more open to those experiences on a deeper level, right? Not holding on to resentment for the things that you have had to overcome, not holding on to anger for the past experiences that you went through, right? Not holding on to a sense of revenge or get back towards the people that you have had to learn lessons from, right? Or that have tried to hold you back or try to diminish your spirit in some sense, right? Because you have anger, conflict, and then softening to love, right? That softening to love is almost like an empathetic energy, right? Where you have empathic starseed, where you are learning to see certain aspects of your situation from a different point of view, right? You're learning to look at the experiences at a deeper level. You're learning to look at the people at a deeper level, not just for what they have put you through, not just for the things that they have said about you, not just for the ways in which they have tried to hold you back, diminish your spirit, discourage you, right? But definitely looking at the reflection or the mirror of who it is that they are internally, spiritually, right? What things that they have overcome, right? What type of mindsets were instilled within them? What type of experiences did they have to overcome that have helped to shape what it is that they have tried to project onto you, right? You're not only learning to love yourself with a little bit more grace, but you're learning to love the people around you with a little bit more grace. You're learning to love the experiences around you with a little bit more grace and understanding, right? You're learning to love the lessons that you have had to learn with a little bit more grace and understanding. Definitely being more open and more willing to feel things not just for what they perceive themselves to be, but for what it is that truly exists inside of them, spiritually, internally, mentally, emotionally, right? Not just looking at the physical, not just looking at certain reactions, not just looking at certain things that they say, but again, holding space for what it is that they too have had to overcome, holding space for what it is that they too have had to learn in life, right? So it definitely is helping you to become more in tune, not only with yourself, but within life in general, right? It keeps you open and understanding to a certain extent, right? It keeps you human, right? It keeps you balanced. It keeps you, now again, this is, again, it's kind of like a surrendering energy in a sense where you are opening yourself up to not being so closed off in a level of understanding, not being so closed off to a certain perspective, or not being closed off in a sense of moving forward, right? Again, I'm hearing like not taking no for an answer. So definitely, feels like a very meditative energy where it's almost like, tell me what you've been through, right? Where it's almost as if, how can I put this into words? There's just such a level of like care. There's such a level of like nourishment. There's such a level of nurturing, right? It gives very graceful, very understanding, very perceptive, very patient, very kind, very giving in a sense where it's like, I want to give you the space to share. I want to give you the space to be vulnerable. I want to give you the space to say what it is that you hide from other people. I want to give you the space to speak on what it is that you have experienced that you hide, not only from yourself but from the world, because maybe you feel a sense of shame, or maybe you feel a sense of discouragement, or maybe you just feel like you want to disconnect from that part of yourself because it puts you in a space of anger and conflict just by reflecting on those times, right? But it's almost as if you are creating that space, if not for another person, for yourself, right? Where you are being more gentle, right? Allowing yourself to kind of delve into the emotions, right? To, again, gain a sense of emotional awareness, gain a sense of emotional insight, right? This is seeking a sense of knowledge within the feminine intuition, right? So I want to see and feel your emotions on a deeper level. I don't want the part of you that you project, or I don't want the part of you that puts on for everybody outside of the world. I want to step inside of the deeper part of your emotions, right? That's kind of what this empathy is giving, right? Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. I want to be able to see you from a space that other people are not able to see you. I want to be able to feel you in a sense where other people are not able to feel you. so that I can see who it is that you truly are and not who you portray yourself to be, right? Clarify the great severing, because there is a part of you that has distanced yourself from a certain aspect of maybe yourself or from other people, right? The world around you. There is a sense of disconnection, right? There's a sense of a boundary, right? The great severing is giving a sense of it's separate even though it's still a part of you. Clarify the great severing. The Hierophant, right. 100%. I felt that. With the Two of Cups, again, I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to experience that reflection, the Five of Swords, of all of the things that run through your mind that you don't speak of. I want to be a part of all of the things that you. It's almost as if you're in a place where you're trying to distance yourself from or disconnect from the energy of self-sabotage, right? So in order to disconnect from the energy of self-sabotage, you have to embrace the things that you are running away from, right? You have to embrace the conflicting thoughts. You have to embrace the conflicting emotions. You have to embrace the conflicting experiences, again, that you have maybe distance yourself from, because who wants to relive something that they had a hard time overcoming in the first place, right? Who wants to relive something or reflect on something that wasn't so easy to experience within, again, originally, right? Who you never wanted to go through that in the first place. You never wanted to learn that lesson, but in a sense it was necessary to help you to get to where you are. But nobody gets through life without a little bit of bumps and bruises, right? So the Hierophant and the Two of Cups is definitely speaking to, again, that sense of a spiritual connection, a divine union, right? This is marriage. The Hierophant, and it's like this is twin energy, right? Twin flames, twin soulmates. I don't really subscribe to those titles because they have a deeper meaning than what most people are willing to express, right? It's not about the twin flame journey. It's not about romance. It's not about that part of it is more of a bonus, but the twin flame journey is more so of speaks to about a spiritual reflection that two individuals go through. Their souls basically spend their journey searching for each other, right, within other people. So again, that can speak to you personally, where you feel as if you spend your whole life looking for yourself within somebody else until God shows you that who you're searching for exists within you, and then you manifest them outwardly, right? The twin flame journey is not just about having a romantic partner who you call twin, right? There's so much surrounding that perspective. There's so much surrounding what that means. There's so much surrounding what that experience looks and feels like, right? But that's another video in itself. But this message here is definitely speaking to a spiritual connection, a divine union, a relationship that has a purpose, right? A spiritual purpose. It's like a leadership, right? This is how can I put this into words? This is connected to a spiritual purpose, right? Where it teaches other people how to find themselves within themselves instead of searching for it within a partner outwardly, right? It speaks to there also could be a part of you that feels like maybe you lost yourself within something because you are in this energy of self-sabotage. Maybe you feel as if you have lost something, or you have missed out on something, or an opportunity has passed you by because you were disconnected emotionally, right? Because one of them is in the water and one of them is in the sand, right? So because you have disconnected yourself emotionally, it almost feels as if you are disconnected from a part of yourself, disconnected from a part of your purpose, disconnected from the part of your future. And that, in a sense, creates a misalignment within you and within the things that you are trying to create within this lifetime, right? So definitely be mindful about how you're showing up, how you're reflecting, how you're perceiving, right? How you are giving what it is that you're giving mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? Because there is some type of union or alignment that serves a purpose within a sense of leadership, within how you create the foundation of your values, your morals, your family traditions, right? Because you see, the people at the bottom here, there's a divine order within this connection. There's a divine order within this bond. There's a divine order within this union, right? So definitely be mindful about what it is that you have asked for and how you receive it when it shows up, right? Because the Five of Swords here shows that there might have been a little bit of conflict, there might have been a little bit of confusion. You may have overthought a situation. Maybe you have you let your thoughts get the best of you, right? When it came to something that you were creating, right? Something that you were trying to align yourself with, right? Clarify, fall into my arms. The sun, right? That's that sense of clarity within what it is, again, that you're trying to create, what it is that you're trying to bring forth, right? The Page of Pentacles offers a seed, right? It's the start of something, right? It's not, you're not going to bear fruit from the seed. I mean, you will eventually, but again, it takes nurturing, it takes time, it takes understanding, it takes vigilance, it takes effort, it takes you caring for it, right? It takes you nurturing for it. It takes your desire to, again, bring forth that to light, right? So the Sun and the Queen of Wands definitely speaks to some sort of clarification. It speaks to some sort of awareness. It speaks to a warmth, right? A welcoming energy. It also speaks to bringing something to the light, right? So again, this energy back here, again, it felt like moon energy. It felt like your intuition. It felt like hidden deep emotions. But with the Sun here and the Queen of Wands, it's almost like, again, being more in touch or being more aware of the things that you have created and how you have created them, how you have, also how you are managing your fire, how you're managing your passion, how you are managing your, I don't want to say anger, but I'll say anger if that applies to you, right? How you're managing your desires, how you're managing the things that you are trying to create, right? Are you aware of all of the things that it entails? Are you aware of the depth of understanding that is going to be required from you within this state of being, within this state of learning, right? Within the Page of Pentacles, look, and the Hermit underneath, there is a seed that was planted within your spirit, right? Something that you were trying to grow, something that, a connection, right? This can be a connection to a desire, a connection to a certain lifestyle, a connection to a certain journey or pathway that you're trying to take or embark on, a connection to a mindset that you, or thoughts that you are trying to either connect or disconnect from, right? It's going to apply to each of you differently, but there's definitely a sense of spiritual connection, learning a part of yourself on a deeper level, right? Learning how to apply yourself spiritually on a deeper level, right? Learning how to connect or make yourself more aware of a spiritual connection that you have, right? Give me something on this Queen of Wands. The Six of Pentacles, how you give, how you receive, the efforts, and look, the King of Swords, right? It's a sense of like strategizing, again, being mindful about how you where you put your fire, right? Being mindful about how you express yourself within that fiery manner, right? Being more mindful about what it is that you're receiving in return, right? Not allowing certain um, certain past experiences or certain things that you have overcome, not allowing those to overtake you or to diminish your spirit or your desire in what it is that you're trying to create, right? But giving yourself the space to continue to learn how to use your fire in 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 a cleansing way, in a purifying way, in a way that brings clarity, in a way that brings peace, in a way that provides warmth and care, right? Again, maybe you're learning to share your story in a way that is more open, right? Maybe you're learning to be more open within yourself. Maybe you're learning to express yourself within a certain way, right? Maybe you're learning how to get something across in a way that seems clear and people are able to understand and relate to it in a certain sense, right? Where you are able to resonate with certain things without having to feel like you're giving too much of yourself away or you're giving um, too much too soon, right? Because the King of Swords represents strategy, represents a sense of intelligence, right? But it's also action oriented. This is someone who makes a plan and follows suit within that plan, right? So definitely surrendering, again, surrendering to your emotions, surrendering to your experiences, surrendering to that level of vulnerability that you have been keeping to yourself, that you have been keeping hidden, um, not only from other people, but from yourself as well, right? Clarify, water your garden. Clarify, water your garden. The Emperor and the Magician with the Death card, right? Mm-hmm. Being more attentive to the things that you create, being more action oriented within the resources that you have learned to use within yourself, right? So, again, learning how to be more action oriented within creating a sense of mental stability, being more action oriented in creating a sense of emotional security with physical stability as well, spiritual vulnerability, right? So, again, learning how to be more action oriented, learning how to be more firm within what it is that you create, right? Learning how to give life to the things that you have pushed down, right? Learning how to transform those energies and use them into something new, right? To revive things that have been pushed down, have been diminished, have been discouraged, right? Reigniting a sense of fire with an action oriented energy, right? With an action, or because the Emperor is all four kings in one, right? It's somebody who's emotionally intelligent, but also has the ability to be emotionally vulnerable. It is somebody who not only sees the vision, but also makes the plan and puts it into action with pure strategy, right? Someone who has the ability to go after what it is that they truly desire, right? But somebody who also has the ability to create and maintain that fire in order to achieve their desires, right? And also somebody who has the ability to maintain a level of certain self respect, certain discipline, hold themselves to certain values and morals, right? Again, within whatever it is that you're creating, right? So, again, holding space for whatever it is that you have been overthinking, holding space for that sense of emotion that you have been pushing to the side, holding space for you to be able to express yourself within the things that you have experienced that you may not have ever wanted to speak of or relive again. Even again, whether you are doing this internally or outwardly, right? This is going to resonate for each of you differently, but it definitely speaks to being more well rounded within how you balance the elements of your reality, right? How you bring life to the areas in which you feel have died within you a long time ago, right? They have not died within you. You have just suppressed them to a sense where they are not active. But this energy definitely speaks to bringing those back into life, bringing those back into a reality, right? Delving back into those aspects that you have suppressed and bringing those to the surface so that you are able to explore them in a way that allows you the space to self-reflect, gain a new sense of insight, a new sense of perspective, a new sense of strategy, right? New ideas, right? However it's going to resonate for you personally. But let's pull 4 cards. 1 card for what we can learn as a major lesson regarding this message. 1 card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. 1 card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And 1 card for new cycles and habits we can innovate to continue to contribute to our growth and expansion regarding this message. Again, this is a very peaceful, it feels very meditative, it feels very strongly like an energy of self-reflection, like a sense of self-awareness, like you have just discovered a new part of yourself, again, that maybe you have overthought, maybe you have been afraid to reveal, maybe you have been afraid to accept within yourself, maybe you have been afraid to share within others, whether you're sharing that within your art, whether you're sharing that within your family, right? Maybe you've hidden certain things from your family. Maybe you are sharing that within your friend circles. Maybe you're sharing that with a romantic partner, right? But there's definitely a different side of yourself that you are resonating with, right? That, again, you have suppressed because of maybe a past experience that didn't go so well because you had to learn a specific lesson within that experience. Sometimes we take life's lessons as an excuse not to relive something when those lessons are only meant to teach us how to maneuver within those experiences, right? How to set healthy boundaries within those experiences, right? Those lessons are not always meant to diminish us. Those lessons are not always meant to discourage us or to prevent us from existing in those cycles, although sometimes it is a lesson of teaching you how to move on from a certain cycle, but sometimes the lesson is just how to maneuver within certain cycles and how to maneuver within certain lessons and certain experiences and certain lifestyles and certain habits, right? So 1 card for what we can learn as the major lesson. Loneliness and humor, right? Again, learning how to not take those things so seriously and knowing that you don't have to suppress certain things, right? But learning how to, again, revive certain aspects of yourself because there might be somebody else who resonates with a certain experience that you've had or a certain lesson, right? Or a certain relationship or connection or bond or mindset or habit or addiction, right? However it's going to resonate, you are never alone within a situation that you have went through, right? We are all the same person going through the same thing in as many different ways as possible. So there's nothing that you have experienced on this earth that is unique to you specifically. Somebody else has experienced that same frequency, maybe in a different manner, but they have also experienced what it's like to be independent. They've also experienced what it's like to feel loneliness. They've also experienced what it's like to feel shame or to feel peace or to feel joy or to feel discouraged or to feel not confident, right? So just because you don't have the ability to speak up about what it is that you have experienced out of that sense of shame, or you don't have to feel shame for a lesson that you have had to learn. You don't have to feel shame for an experience that you have had to go through, right? You don't have to feel shame for certain addictions or certain habits that you've had to overcome, or bonds or connections that you may have had to break, because again, no experience is specific to you solely, right? So definitely keep that in mind, moving forward, that that you can find joy within the lessons that once caused you pain, right? You can find a sense of connection in spaces where you once felt solitude, right? One card for the opportunities that we can create regarding this message. Change, with worry at the bottom of the deck. So definitely creating the space again for you to revive certain things that you have hidden from yourself. You can create the opportunity to change certain mindsets that once had you stuck and stagnant. You can change how you experience your emotional state, right? How you experience your sense of spiritual connection, right? Your sense of spiritual relationship, right? You can create that sense of change. You don't have to overthink your relationship with God. You don't have to overthink your connection to religion or spirituality, right? You can create the opportunity to live within an existence that fits where it is that you're desiring to go, right? You can create the opportunity for growth. You can create the opportunity for change within, again, your mindsets, your habits, how you exist, right? How you express yourself emotionally, how you perceive certain things, right? How you experience certain things, right? And you can open your eyes up to new perspectives and how you perceive certain situations, how you perceive certain people, how you perceive certain habits, how you perceive certain, I don't know, mannerisms, values, right? I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So again, creating that sense of acknowledgement within your emotions, right? Because again, there is a sense of emotional vulnerability that is undertoning this message. There definitely is a spiritual and emotional connection here. With the Hierophant and the Two of Cups, there's a spiritual connection that is opening you up emotionally, right? So again, maybe you're strengthening your connection with God, the Most High, right? That's causing you to relive some things that you have emotionally disconnected from. Maybe you are, I don't know, again, I'm not going to run off a bunch of different things. If you want to book a personal reading, do so. But there is a spiritual connection here that is tied to your emotions, and it is definitely encouraging you very strongly to meditate on what it is that you're feeling, to meditate on what it is that you have felt in the past emotionally, to meditate on how those emotions have affected you, where you are now, and how they affected you in the past, and how it led you to where you are now, right? And how you dealt with those emotions, right? So again, there is a strong emotional and spiritual undertone to this message. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus. Forgiveness and empathy, right? You don't have to hold on to that sense of discouragement that you felt at that point in time. You don't have to hold on to that sense of unworthiness that you may have felt because you had to go through something. You don't have to hold on to a sense of not being seen or not being heard, or a sense of abandonment in a way, or a sense of resentment. You don't have to hold on to the things that were holding you back from what it is that you are truly desiring to achieve, right? Because God is offering you something that reflects what it is that you're trying to create within this life, right? It's an exact mirror of what it is that you represent. And so in order to receive that, you have to get in touch with it, right? You have to resonate with it. You have to align with it. You have to understand it. You have to have grace and patience, right? You can't go outside and yell at the apple seed for not bearing fruit the next day after you planted it. You have to give it grace. You have to give it the space to grow. You have to learn the things that help it grow, right? You have to learn the conditions that make it harder for it to grow, right? So you have to, again, give yourself the grace and patience in order for you to allow yourself to connect safely to your emotions in a secure way that provides a safe space for you to be vulnerable, right? That provides a secure way for you to feel like you are able to express yourself in an open way without feeling judged, right? So definitely meditating on that energy of what it's like to, what it would be like to experience something that you may not have experienced personally, but how you would feel within that situation if it was something that you had to experience for yourself, right? Empathy is being able to resonate and align with something and have understanding and grace for a perspective and an insight or something that you may or may not have had to experience or go through yourself, right? One card for the cycles and habits we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion regarding this message. Trust. With doubt at the bottom of the deck, right? Two opposing energies. Innovating new ways to, again, build your faith, build your sense of security, build your sense of acknowledgement, again, within the things that you have hidden, right? And not allowing yourself to overthink, not allowing yourself to get discouraged because you feel as if this happened one time, so it's automatically going to happen again, because that's not always the case. There again, you may have had to learn a lesson that just taught you how to maneuver within that cycle, right? It may have showed you a certain perspective or a certain viewpoint at that specific point in time. That does not always mean that cycle is always going to repeat itself. Sometimes you learn a lesson for the benefit of a situation that you're going to experience later on in life, right? And so it just teaches you how to have more faith. It teaches you how to have a stronger sense of trust within your intuition, how to trust your mind, and the ability to know that if I had to, I can move on to this. If I had to, I can overcome this. If I have to, I know how to disconnect, or I am more firm in the trust within myself that I have to take the necessary steps in order to grow within a specific cycle, within whatever way it presents itself, right? Again, whether that be able to create a new mindset or gain a new perspective or connect to your emotions on a deeper or more open level, right? How to connect with it to your spirit and your desires and the way you move within what it is that you're trying to create, right? But again, innovating new ways to not allow that sense of overthinking to contribute to that sense of self-sabotage, right? I hope that makes sense. But trusting in your intuition and trusting that all of the answers that you need will appear at the right moment that they are desired or meant to, right? But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something within it that is worthy and valuable to you. Have a good one. Bye.